Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday Notary Titans. Today is Tuesday, February 20th. We are almost up to the end of the month, if you can believe that. Welcome to your favorite call of the week, TNT. Laura is here with me as well today. She's having some camera difficulties, but we are able to hear her. Laura, do you want to say hello to everyone?
Good afternoon, everyone. As soon as I figure out my camera, you'll get to see my shining face. But in the meantime, I can hear your questions, so I'll let Jen take over.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. Yeah, Laura is here to answer our questions, and you guys know how this works. It's kind of like an old-fashioned radio call-in show where you call us, you raise your hand, or you hop on the Zoom, I should say, you raise your digital hand if you have a question that you would like to ask myself or the one and only Laura Biewer. If you're looking for your raise hand feature, if you go to the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see three little dots with the word more underneath it. When you click more, you'll see a menu pop up and you can click raise hand. So we are looking forward to answering all of your questions today. Please get in line, raise those virtual hands. And our first question today is from Andrea. Hey, Andrea, what state are you calling from? You are on mute.
Okay, state of Oregon. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. What's your question for us?
Well, I have a scenario and then a question.
Okay.
So, I recently did a signing, a real estate signing, and on the top of the document, it said affidavit of identification. Very top, top thing. Then underneath that, it had a state and county that we were not in. And then after that, it had all the information where the signer actually puts in the information there for driver's license, and then signs and dates. Then underneath is the notarial certificate, or which I assume was the notarial part. And it said, Andrea Madison, before me, this person signed their information. I can't remember all what it says. And then it said, in the state of, and then I put Oregon, and then basically the venue where I was at. And then I signed, stamped, did all the things that I was supposed to. And now the company is coming back saying that they need they need to fix the document where on the top of the document it had the wrong venue. I didn't think I had the right to change that part of it. Am I wrong in thinking that, or is that my part to change? Because I always thought it was part of the documentation. I couldn't touch that.
Laura?
Yeah, so even though it said you're a notary for Oregon within the certificate, it didn't sound like it had a specific venue, which should have started off your certificate portion. And I would have handwritten in my venue, which means not just the state I'm in, but the county that I'm physically in at the moment, which may or may not be my filing county. And when when I don't see a venue above the certification, I don't trust the one at the top. Sometimes it has to do with me, and sometimes it has to do with the document. When it's property, I tend to rewrite mine because it tends to be the property one. When it's not property, I ignore that one and I handwrite in the correct venue above my certificate, because there are states that allow for a venue to be separated from the certificate. My state is not one of them. If you're in California, that's not allowed. But there are states, when they create their certificates, they will put their venue up higher, have document stuff, and then have the certificate, and that is okay in their state.
Okay. In the state of Oregon, if the incorrect venue is up at the top left-hand corner of the documents, right after where it said affidavit of identification, then it's got some other venue. And then the document wording, and then
Yes,
where the person puts their ID. And then within the part where I can change, where I can understand that I can change,
right.
I put the correct venue. You're saying that I'm supposed to also change what's on top as well, like
Well,
very top of the document?
I don't know. I think you need to, you have to, if you're not sure, I'm not the receiving agency. So I cannot tell you 100% of the time, the right answer is to fix that venue.
Okay.
I'd say that a lot of the times you are going to need to fix that venue if it's not a property document, because it's meant for you, especially when you do not see a second venue above the notary wording for you. When I don't
Okay.
see that and it's not property, then my assumption is, here's my venue. I'm going to attach, because I'm in California, it wouldn't be acceptable. But if I'm in a state where it's okay to do that, then you could fix that, because that venue is not document wording. That venue is part of your certificate. They just moved it up.
Okay. So
But
second question.
ultimately, it's the receiving agency's decision about how they want you to handle that. And you could pick one way and they don't like that. Or you could pick the other way and they didn't like that. Sometimes you're going to guess, or you need to call and verify from who gave you the job or who's going to receive the job. Because there's not 100% guarantee.
Okay. Thank you. I have a follow-up question if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. So I did all those things. Nobody picked up the phone. So I knew in my certificate where I had put the correct venue and blah, blah. Nobody picked up the phone. Nobody responded to me. Now, what they're asking me to do is to send them a loose certificate and send it to them.
And I would say that's a big no. That
Yeah.
you can fix it if they send you back the document, and
Yeah.
then you can take care of that. But it is illegal for us to send a loose certificate all by itself anywhere.
Thank you for the confirmation of that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Great questions, Andrea. Thank you so much. I loved those. All right, Beth McGee, what is your question for us today? Tell us where you're calling from.
I'm in New York. Thank you. I always have a question.
I love it. That's great.
I want to ask, so this is with regard to like outreach. So I have received, we're new in our community in the last like 8 months, and I've received an email invitation to a dinner at a local restaurant from a financial advisor who's going to do like instruction on how to best navigate your IRAs. And so I have IRAs. My husband has IRAs. It would be good education, but we also have a broker that we pay. So my thought was that I would go and meet them and learn about the services that they provide and introduce myself as a notary. But I am just tossing that around, that it might be just tacky that I go and get dinner with them, like take the free dinner, and then with full intention of not using his services because we already have a broker. So anyway, I'm just interested in what people's thoughts are on that.
I think that's a really great question. And I love that you bring this up, because I get these a lot too. I'm sure most of us get these in the mail, people offering to buy dinners and lunches or cocktail hours, whatever it is. And they want to talk about their products and services. So there's two ways to look at it. You can go in knowing that, you are going there as an information gathering, event for yourself, and potentially your business, right, Beth?
Mhm.
because I know we talk about, I know you're a notary business builder, and one of the things we talk about in Notary Business Builder is the triangle of trust, and a financial planner is included in that. And yes, you know, you can feel guilty about the whole dinner aspect of it. But when you think about it, Beth, this guy is putting in the mails. It's not just going to you, it's going to everybody. So he's taking kind of that risk that you know, potential vendors might come to him. But if you go in as with, you know, your mindset of, I'm learning, I'm trying to see if I like this guy, if this is somebody I can partner with, if I can help him in his business somehow, or he can help me in mine, then that's great. We should never go into any kind of situation that's a networking situation with just the idea of, I want this person to help me grow my business. It has to be a two-way street or it's not going to work. So I think it's just, yes, I know you feel that way. And I think that that's probably the normal way to feel, but you have some legitimate reasons for going. You know, what if you like this guy and you're like, man, I'd rather work with this guy than my own broker? What if, you know, he says something about needing a notary or something? What if you guys just really hit it off and, you know, then it's worth it. And then you're not going to feel like it's wasting. But he's sending this to every single mailbox in your community. So he has to know, as you would know, as I would know if I did that, that you're going to take the chance of some potential vendors or other business owners coming for various different reasons. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I'm still tossing it around because I mean, it's a business relationship that we might be trying to create together. And I don't want that to come off from the very beginning as, oh, well,
But if you
she
guys
took
hit
my
it
free
off
meal,
really
but
well, if you hit it
what?
off really well with this person and like you guys really like have a great talk after the dinner and things go well, he's not going to think it was a waste.
Mhm. Yeah, and
You
I
know,
don't have to take the meal. I just haven't looked at the RSVP thing at this point yet, so
mhm.
I don't know if, how that would work, but I can certainly, like, if there's a place where to leave a note or something. It's coming up, and I was thinking that it would be great, not just for myself. I mean, I can't do like speculating in New York State, but it would be great to know another in our new community, a
Yeah.
financial planner.
And it's a
So,
wonderful way to get out and meet them. And
yeah.
the thing is, you know, you have to decide, Beth, and really think about this. Is it your resistance
Mhm.
that's telling you going would maybe not be um, the right thing to do? Is it that part of you that we all have that's like always looks for reasons to not get out and do the hard thing? You know,
Yeah.
or is it something else? So Laura, what are your thoughts on this?
Um, along your lines, I also want to say when you were saying, hey, this is going to everybody's mailbox, those people aren't even notaries. Those people might be going for a free meal. When somebody does shotgun approach, which is not a good approach, it's an expensive one. It means he's hoping that maybe 20% of the people that came might turn into a client, and the other 80% got free dinner. And they're not bringing anything of value to that. At least you're bringing something, a potential of value in terms of understanding how he communicates with prospects, with clients, and how there might be an opportunity for you to see him as somebody you could refer people to, even if it's not for your own personal business. That to me puts you above everybody else that decided to come and have dinner.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
brings to mind, like this is probably a buffet dinner, and it's, a pretty low cost for, I mean, in the long run, low cost for this person, but we pay our broker thousands of dollars, so for a meal on a buffet or whatever, it's certainly it's a risk you take, but the income you could potentially get from a handful of people from that dinner would be pretty substantial. So anyway.
Yeah. And it's his risk that he's willing to
Yeah.
take, or he wouldn't be hosting the meal, right?
Sure.
That's a great question, Beth. Thank you so much.
Okay.
As I know, a
Thank
lot
you.
of notaries that are CNTDAs, certified notary trust delivery agents, are noticing these mailers and wondering themselves, is it appropriate to attend? And, you know, my short answer is, yeah, I think it is, for all the reasons that Laura and I talked about. So guys, I want to take just a minute and share some new information with you before we move on to our next question. So Carl, thanks for hanging out with us. Just give me 1 second. I want to talk about advertising in the chat box on the TNT call. So I know a lot of us have different products and services that we like to show off to our notary community. And I think that's fantastic. And Laura, Bill, and I actually want to help you do that. So we have launched last week through Notary Business Builder a new website called NBB Spotlight. If you are a notary business builder and you have a product or service that you would like to sell to the notary community, we're going to help you do that by leveraging our huge email list to talk about your different products and services. Moving forward, unless you are an approved vendor on the Innovator Spotlight website, nbbspotlight.com, you will not be allowed to advertise your product or services in the TNT chat box. And I appreciate you guys understanding that and being respectful of that. The link for the Innovator Spotlight has been put in the chat by Jen Cooper. Thank you so much, Jen. Let's get back to our questions. Carl, what can we help you with today?
Hey, I'm a licensed insurance agent, and I do those type of promoting, marketing,
Yeah.
and I like to share. We as financial people invest anywhere between $5,000 to $7,000 or more to send out those mailers. So if you really want to build a relationship with a financial representative, I wouldn't really highly recommend you take that path, because you can actually burn a bridge when they realize that plate cost them a couple of $100, and they realize you had no intentions of a high probability of coming there to do business. You were going there to promote yourself. And there's other paths to do that. So I would kind of discourage that if you really want to build a relationship. Now, someone in the chat said, call them and say, hey, I got your mailer. I'm not a prospect, but I can potentially help you grow your practice. And they'll love you for that.
Yeah, that's definitely the time-saving way to handle that. I agree, because those dinners could be, you know, an hour or two long between the food part and the lecture part. And I think it's all in how you approach it. But I definitely appreciate your perspective, because those mailers, you're right, they are very expensive and it's not cheap hosting a big dinner for a lot of folks. So thank you for that perspective, Carl. Did you have a separate question for us, or did you just want to offer that?
I just wanted to give that insight.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Miss Linda, tell us what state you're calling from and what your question is. You're on mute.
Hi, I'm calling
Hi.
from New York State. How's everybody?
Great.
I have a question. I've been a notary for over 25 years, but I'm new to this loan signing stuff. So I just started it at my retirement. I retired a few years ago, so I just started this in October. So my question is, I signed up for some of the signing services. So it's my understanding that notarial acts are not taxable income. So given that, when I do a signing with a signing company, let's say they, you know, the fee they give me is $125, and I do 2 notarial acts, which in New York State equivalates to $4.
Mhm.
So when I do my taxes, they'll take that 125 and deduct the 4 from that, or just how does that work? I don't understand how that works. Can anyone help?
It's a great question, and I'm going to give you an overview, Linda. But I'm going to preface every word that comes out of my mouth with please talk to
Okay.
a tax professional in the state of New York. I live in
Okay.
Texas. Laura lives in California. Neither one of us are familiar with those state laws, but the federal
Okay.
law states that the fee that the state allows you to collect on for your notarial stamp is exempt from self-employment tax, not income tax, not
Okay.
self-employment tax.
Okay.
Everything else, your convenience fee, so $121 is subject to that self-employment tax. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does. It
Laura,
does.
do you have
So
anything you'd like to add? Ooh, Laura, are you there? She might be having a little trouble. Oh, Laura, can you hear me? She can hear me. I can't hear her.
or can I have
So
a follow-up? Because
sure, go ahead.
so when I do my general notary work, when people call my company for general notary work, right, in New York State, it's only $2. There's acknowledgement, jurat, signature. That's, and what you just said applies to that as well, of course.
Of course.
Except from, okay. And that I can keep track of because I know what I charge for that. But when I do the signing companies, when I go to my tax professional, he should automatically know. He should be knowledgeable. No.
No, it's up to you as you're hiring a tax professional to ask them if they're familiar with, how it works for notaries. Oh, Laura, there, I saw your microphone popped back on, Laura. So hopefully we can hear you this time. I saw a little green box around you. Oh, darn it. No. Why don't you hop back out and come back in? You need to have that discussion with them, Linda, and you need to make sure that they're aware of that. And you need to keep accurate records. So if you accept a job for $125 that has 2 notary stamps associated with it, you need to, in your accounting, point out that $4 is exempt from the self-employment tax. The $121 is not. It's your job to keep accurate records for your business. So obviously, which accounting software are you using?
Well, I have QuickBooks, but I also use Notary Gadget, which allows me to put in my notarial acts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think when I pull my report from there, obviously it should list my notarial acts and the amount.
Don't ever assume
Not
that
right.
don't ever assume that that tax attorney is going to look at your P&L and know how many notarial certificates are in each loan signing package that you receive, because they're all different.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I'm saying Notary Gadget tracks that.
Mm-hmm. So you can enter that in QuickBook too.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I don't know anything about Notary Gadget, but I do know in QuickBooks you can separate those out as well. But like I said, your job to keep those accurate records. It's not up to your tax professional. You just need to have that discussion with him.
Okay.
I believe there was a few comments in the chat about this as well. So you might want to take a look at those.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You got it. Thank you for the question. Hey, Dawn, what's your question?
Hey, Jen, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yay.
Thank you.
Did you want to add anything, Dawn, before we go? Laura, did you want to add anything to Linda's tax question?
Yeah, and that is that taking that exemption is optional. And it
Mhm.
may not be advantageous for every notary to take it. It depends on where you are. Do you have a W-2 job where you are contributing for Social Security and Medicare? Have you already met your credits, the 40 credits that are minimum first to even qualify you to get retirement later? And for somebody like me, it doesn't make sense to not take it. For me, it's a good idea because I'm already closer to retirement. I've had a lot of money I've contributed. And so I don't want to, I don't care about reducing it at this point. I need the tax deduction now. So
Okay.
for me, it's good. But for some, even though it's looking very attractive to get, I mean, that could be $10,000, $15,000 in the year. That could sound really attractive. However, just know that it impacts you at the end. So you want to make sure you have that discussion. It's whether or not it's legal to do it or how to do it is one question, but the other one is it right for me?
Yeah, and everybody's situation is so different. And that's why, Linda, it's so very important that you meet with a tax professional and have that discussion with them and have them look at your whole um, business and as well as your personal investments and things and how it can help you.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, Dawn, thank you for your patience. Tell us where you're calling from and what your question is. Dawn, you're still on mute.
Okay. Bling
There she
afternoon,
is.
everybody.
Hi.
Okay. I was listening to what you said about the new platform. So with sharing like things we may have want to sell, is that for any particular thing?
That is for, here's the qualifications. You have to be a notary business builder. You have to be part of the notary business builder community. And you have to have a product or service that you want to sell, not an affiliate. This is just product or service, and it doesn't even have to be notary related. If you hand knit sweaters and you want to sell those, we want to show that off because we do realize that we are more than just people with stamps, right, Laura? We are creative, innovative people in all areas of life, not just in the notary world. So yes, if you've created a journal or you've got some great notary t-shirts or maybe a great branded bag for notaries that you want to sell, we can sell it there. But if you're selling anything else too, that's your original idea, we are happy to show that off as well.
So how do you become a notary builder and how is there a fee?
Yes, Notary Business Builder is an entire platform. It is a one-stop shop for notary entrepreneurs. So Dawn, what that means for you is for $58 a month, you have not only access to the Innovator Spotlight and us showing you off and utilizing our email list. You also get, if you are on the Innovator Spotlight, you get an interview with Bill Soroka that will be emailed out to our interview list. We have social media that we use our social media platforms to promote your product. It also means you're part of the largest notary collaboration in history, Notary Business Builders. For $58 a month, you get free. Everything I'm going to tell you now, Dawn, comes with that $58 a month. Full access to Notary Assist bookkeeping software. Full access to all of Laura Biewer's offerings, from her specialty trainings to her state-specific trainings, everything in her library, everything in Bill Soroka's library, from his morning mastery plan to his Sign and Thrive course to his all the different offerings he's put out to the notary community. Marketing for notaries and my 5-point marketing system is included. Matt Miller, say hi, Matt Miller. There
Hi,
he
Matt Miller.
is. He's our government affairs guru. You have access to all of his government affairs training. We have content creation training, meaning when you're stuck and you're trying to put on like a really great social media post, but you're just stuck and can't think of anything to say, or you're trying to blog to bring people to your website, we teach you how to do that. We teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. We teach you how SEO works and how you can leverage that, as well as Google Business Profile training. It is, Laura, am I forgetting anything?
I think there's more, but we can't remember it all just at this one.
There is more, but yeah,
Go to
I'm
Notary
forgetting
Coach,
something.
Uh,
What's
notarycoach.com/NBB. It's in the chat. And you'll see all the things that you
all
can
the
access. There's no extra fee to be an innovator, right? That is just one more thing that we are doing to help bring value and promote those that are in our community.
Yes, absolutely. And the other cool thing about it, Dawn, is, everybody's talking about the certified notary trust delivery agent training that we created to help you partner with estate planning professionals in your community. And if you are a notary business builder,
Big
you get
discount.
$70 off whatever the price is of the CNTDA program. Right now, it's on sale for
I
for
do
$249.
have, so Miss Laura, I have your library. I also I just partnered with what's her name? I just partnered with somebody to do. I was thinking. I seen everybody talking about the trust, the living trust thing.
Yep.
I just partnered with somebody with the living trust too. I just signed a contract to partner with somebody for living trust. So
Fantastic.
so I was actually looking at taking that course to actually to get more information on it. Because
Go
so
check
far
it
I
out, girl.
yeah, because I'm a true 100 all the way around, probably 2000% entrepreneur. So I will be looking into doing that because I'm interested in doing that, and I have several things I'm actually doing. So it
Nice.
sounds quite interesting for me.
Yeah, so Dawn, if we can help you with any products or services that you would like to promote, then we would love to do that. And it's included in all the other awesome programs. I mean, we are really focused on helping the notary entrepreneur build a sustainable business that's not just dependent on the mortgage industry. We can do so much more than just loan signings. And that is, I know, my passion, Laura's passion, Bill's passion, and we are doing that through our Notary Business Builder platform. So definitely go check that out. It's, like I said, it's $58 a month. But I think we tallied it up one time, Laura, and if you priced everything out individually, don't quote me exactly on this, but I want to say it was $3,000 a month if we priced everything out individually. But we would never charge you $3,000 a month for that.
So I have two more questions.
Yes.
One, will that price stay the same? And two, when it comes to helping us promote it, does that include getting anything patent?
Anything what?
Patent.
I'm not getting
if something's patented,
yes.
That wouldn't that doesn't, we don't take any monetary gain from the Innovator Spotlight.
No. What I'm saying is, like, whatever I'm selling, if I want to get something patent, do y'all help with that process for as advertising or promoting?
Well, you're
No.
right. You're talking about payment. How do you get paid when you sell?
No, I'm
saying
talking about
patent.
getting a product patent.
A product patent.
Patent,
Correct.
yes. No, As of right now, no, Dawn, that we do not, but that's a really great idea. Maybe something that we can look at down the road if we have an expert that can help us with it. But right now, no, we do not help with patent law. You would need to find a patent attorney, which would be the best advice we could give you at this
I have a
point.
person that's just going to do it, but I'm just finding out if this is one of the things that you will offer for us, like ever in promotion. That's all.
Right. And to answer your other question about pricing, no, whatever you purchase Notary Business Builder for, as long as you maintain a consistent membership, your price will never go up. It's been $58. It was originally $197. And Dawn, we lowered it because we know that we knew about, we lowered it about a year ago, right, Laura? Because we knew, no, it was at conference last year. So almost a year ago, because we knew notaries were hurting after the impact of increased interest rates on our industry. We've been really hurting because of that. So we lowered the price to the absolute, like, some people that are inside there aren't getting paid what they should be rate, because we're trying to help the notary community. It's not going to stay 58 forever. It's not, we can't maintain that forever. But if you purchased it at 58 and you maintain consistency with your membership, it will always be 58 for you. So even if we increase the price, your price doesn't go up. It's just for new members.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Lauren. Thank you, everybody, for lowering. I will take advantage of it.
Awesome. Go check it out. I'm excited to hear what you think about it.
Okay.
Thanks, Dawn. Andrea, what's your question for us?
Okay, hi. I have a question regarding when you're at a notary. Have you ever had anyone film you or just start filming you without your consent? And how do you handle that?
So I have had somebody, they did not do it without my consent. They said, do you mind if we film this notarization? And I didn't have a problem with them doing that. It was their documents. So it wasn't an issue. I didn't stop it. And that was my experience.
Okay. Anybody else have had an experience where, someone just started filming them without your consent or asking you?
Well, asking to the whole crowd, they would need to respond in the chat box.
Oh, okay. My bad. Okay. And my next question is, do you take personal checks? Have you had any experiences where people burned you?
Yes. So my answer is I don't take very many personal checks. Usually they're business checks. Everything else is Zelle or credit card is normally how I do payment. But I do take personal checks on occasion. Sometimes they have been with, usually it's going to be older people. They're at a facility. They're not tech savvy, and they still have their checkbook. And that's how they do things. And so the answer is yes, I still take some, but I would tell you it's probably 5% of my payment method. The other thing is, have I been burned? Yes, I've been burned 3 times. One by a signing service that bounced their check. And the other 2 were just $50 jobs that they bounced the check. Non-sufficient funds. I was unable to collect. I had to just write it off. But you know what? I've been doing this 20 plus years. I have done tens of thousands of jobs, and to only have 3, I'd say the risk isn't very high for me. But like I said, I don't take a lot of them. I try to push everybody through credit card, through Zelle, through cash.
Okay. And do you always collect most of the time, like when you do the job? Like I had a lady, I got there and she's like, I forgot my checkbook. And now I'm going on 3.5 months with the checks in the mail.
Yeah. No, I get paid at the table. And if they don't have their checkbook, then they're going to have to do Zelle or credit card. And I'm not going to do the work for general notary work. I'm not doing the work and then walking away from the table, because that's what'll happen.
Yep.
Okay. All righty. That was super helpful. Okay. Thank you.
It's a great question. Good reminder about taking those personal checks. Love that. Thank you, Andrea. Anisha B in Arizona, what's your question for us?
It's not really a question, it's a response to the previous woman about the video cameras. I think
Yeah.
that we all need to remember when we go into clients' homes, we don't know who has a nanny cam or whatever type of security that they have in their home. So many times we are being recorded without our permission because we don't know what kind of security they have in their homes.
That's a great point. And you are right. And I think, you know, it's up to the individual person
Yeah.
in that moment on how they were going to handle it. If somebody just started videotaping me, I would definitely ask why, and probably ask them not to. Because the other thing that you have to think about as a notary, when you've got documents splayed out in front of you, can somebody take that video, blow it up, and find out personal financial information from your clients from that video? So that would be my number one fear
Well, when
at
they
that
did it
point.
with me, it was a cell phone, but it was their own document. I mean, it was
Right.
their own thing. So who cares? I mean, that's on them.
That's on them. Yeah.
That's on them. And I don't know. I mean, I'm a public official. Matt is right. I go into public buildings. I go into business buildings, and they got all kinds of security going on. So I don't understand what the big deal is about being recorded going. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing my job. Right.
Yeah.
So what's
I
the
think
big deal that somebody's got security going on in their house or in their building? This is part of being somebody who goes out to the public to provide service. I'm not telling you, you have to do it. If that's an issue, then this may not be the job for you, because I bet you've
Right.
been recorded somewhere along the
Absolutely.
I'm
line.
sure we have been. Yeah, I'm sure
Just
we
like
have
with
been.
Iran, you're recorded there. So
You're
as long
recorded
as you're following the rules, doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's right.
We should all be behaving as if we are being recorded.
We really should. I think that's great advice.
Yeah.
That is great advice. Hey guys, I want to just take a quick second and go over some events that are happening, and Jen Cooper is going to help me out by putting links in the chat. Please don't forget that in just 3 days, the National Notary Association is having their online summit. It is $49, I believe, to sign up. You can do that at the link in the chat. I want to talk about a Texas specific event. If you are a Texas notary on this call, can you drop me a 1 in the chat so we can see how many of us Texans out there representing on TNT today? But March 2nd, Diana Hansen is having an event it's a notary training meetup group kickoff. So whether you're just starting your journey as a notary or you've got years of experience, the event is the perfect opportunity for you to connect with like-minded professionals in a relaxed, friendly atmosphere. You're going to network, you're going to share insights, you're going to gain valuable knowledge going over all of the new Texas laws that were just released last September, and the new training that the state of Texas has released. And that's with Diana Hansen. If you have any questions, Diana is on the call. Please feel free to send her a DM through the chat. Excuse me. If you're in the Seattle area or the Pacific Northwest, Saturday, March 16th, which is right around the corner, oh my gosh, is the Pacific Northwest meet and greet. The website to accept applications is currently closed, but they do have 3 spots left, and they are saving them only for TNT folks today. So through 5 p.m. today, Pacific time, if you have not gotten your seat, you can grab one of the last 3 seats available by texting organizer Michelle Klein or emailing her at the email that was just posted in the chat. Of course, we've got the NNA conference also happening May 13th through 16th. The link is in the chat for that. You can get a full pass or a reduced price exhibitor and workshop only pass. And the NNA is accepting nominations for Influencer of the Year until March 15th. If there is someone in the notary community that has made a difference in your career as a notary entrepreneur, please nominate them for Influencer of the Year. And if you're looking for a suggestion, I suggest Mr. Bill Soroka. All right. Let's
Go
get
to
back.
people.
Do what, Laura?
Before we go to people, I want to make another announcement.
Oh, great.
Some of you follow me and have seen my social media. Some of you saw I did a certificate challenge that ended on Valentine's Day. If you were part of that, would you drop me a 1, please? Because I have a couple of announcements to make. Okay, so guess what? Out of over 100 people, over 100 notaries who participated, only 2 got all 5 right. And I want to talk about that for a moment, as soon as I stop my phone from ringing.
I'm shocked.
They're on my call today. So Joyce Darby, yay, let's show her some love. And Matt Miller are our 2 that got all 5 of those certificates right. And that was a national, those certificates, those acts were from all over the place. So 1, thank you for participating. 2, congratulations to Joyce and Matt. And 3, the NNA donated an NNA Summit ticket, entrance ticket for this upcoming one that has Mark and Sue Hope in it. So I just want you to know that it gets a little bigger every time. I will do something similar. I haven't decided what, and we'll do another challenge. So the more of you that get in there, and I think you guys like that little duck race. Yeah. That
Adorable.
winner is a random. It's randomized with the duck race, but then it's a challenge. So that means you got to get all the answers right. You got to answer all 5 too. Some got answers right, but they didn't do all 5. So I just wanted to thank you for participating and congratulations to Joyce and Matt. Okay.
Way to go, Joyce and Matt. That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, guys, we've got Sandrine B. Tell us where you're calling from and what your question is. Sandrine, you're on mute.
Maybe she got caught on a call.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm just asking, I'm trying to ask, ever since I've become a notary, I haven't earned 1 cent off of it. I mean, I'm not currently employed. So as an unemployed person who's not with an organization, how do I go about start earning some money from this?
Well, you have your notary stamp. How long
Yes.
have you had that, Sandrine?
Over a year.
Where do you live?
Sorry?
Where do you live?
Oh, in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Oh my gosh, you're in a great area. So what have you done to market yourself and your business to area notaries or
I've
area?
entered it on my social media pages, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, how do I advertise? I mean, and are you only allowed to charge $10, right?
So you're only allowed to what?
Charge maximum $10 per signature.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
for the signature, but that's not how notaries rake their money. Travel fees, facility fees, printing fees, scanning fees. There are a lot of other
Convenience
fees
fee.
beyond. Yeah. And then there's even work that isn't about notarization as well. And then you're in Florida, so you can also do remote online notarization. So
Hold on, say it again.
remote online, meaning doing it on the computer as well. Although I wouldn't do it till you've notarized so that you know how to notarize first. But there are a couple of things. One is going after specialty work might be an easy place to start, meaning your local community, right? Have you told everybody you know that you're a notary?
Yes.
Gone into local businesses where you do business already. You spend your money there and talk to them about notary services. Have also, I have that Laura Biewer Presents replay library that talks about 8 or 9 different specialties and how to get into them and what are the documents that are involved. Or there's that new book out that Bill and I put out called Beyond Loan Signings that again does the same thing. Some people do better with a book, some people do better with the videos. The book is more recent, so it has even more information. That would be how to start getting practice and doing smaller jobs. There is, of course, trust work, and that you probably want training if you're not really experienced as a notary, particularly. And of course, then there's loan signings, which typically requires a special certification as well in background screen. So there's like a ladder of stuff that you could go through to start putting yourself out there as a notary. Also, Google My Business page, that's free. The better job you do on that, the more likely it is you're going to come up on the SEO searches. When somebody says notary near me, notary in Garden Palms or Palms, Florida, or wherever it is you are, those are ways we can get ourselves visible.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Did you say mybusiness.com?
She's talking about Google Business Profile, formerly called Google My Business. It is when you search for restaurants near me, that's what pulls up on Google, Sandrine, when so if somebody searches notary near me, your information will pull up. But let me I can tell you're trying to make notes and to try and do these different things, but I actually have an entire program, Sandrine, built around helping newer notaries like yourself, because you're only a year into your commission, so you're at the beginning of your journey. I have an entire website devoted to helping them build up their business and teaching them the exact steps I used to build my business. So it's in the chat. I want you to go check it out. It's marketingfornotaries.com. It's affordable for a new notary entrepreneur starting out. And like I said, I'm going to teach you the 5 steps you need to walk through to build your business, because it is not something that you can just get your notary stamp and then expect business to come to you. You have to put in the daily effort to build a business, because you're not just a notary. You're a notary
I'm a business owner now.
That's right. You're a notary entrepreneur. And if you want to make a business out of having that notary stamp, then you need to act like a business owner. And fortunately, the amount of work and insight that we would have to teach you to do that is not something we can just answer in a call like this, as the time is restrictive. But please go check out Marketing for Notaries. It's an excellent entry point for notaries at the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey to help them build a client base, and then we've got, once you get to a certain point, we've got like a step up that you can join the Notary Business Builder network and go even deeper and learn other specialties like Laura was talking about, and how those different revenue streams can help you build your business.
Okay, thank you. I'll check out that link. I do appreciate it. And hopefully I get something, because I'm tired of doing things and feeling like it's no use. I have my bachelor's degree. I can't get a job from it. It's like, it's kind of discouraging,
If you put in the work, you do the work, you follow the steps, it's going to happen. I see it every single day with notaries I talk to. Laura sees it every single day. If you do the work, it will happen.
Okay, thank you. How do I save this chat?
Oh, how do you say chat?
Yes.
So 3 dots, right? Is it at the top or the bottom?
There's
No,
3
right
little
now
dots.
I'm seeing at the top, I see close, and I see the bell.
Sandrine, it's all the way at the bottom of the chat box. Go all the way to the bottom, even in the message where under messages, and you'll see a little smiley face, little piece of paper. Then there's 3 dots over to the right. Click on 3 dots and then click on Save Chat.
My 3 dots are at the top.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see any dots.
At the top. If you look at the very top right side, see 3 dots, and then you'll see something with an arrow, and then you'll see an X. At the very top, it says Tuesday Notary Titans, and then there's those to the right are 3 dots. Do you see those? Oh, she muted
She's
herself.
back off mute. I think she's looking for it.
Okay.
And you know what, Sandrine? So we've got some helpers in the chat that are helping you locate those 3 dots as well. So thank you for asking that marketing question. Anya, am I
Yes,
saying your name
ma'am.
correctly?
Onia.
Onia, where are you calling from and what's your
I'm
question?
calling from Mississippi. I'm about 20 minutes from Elvis's house.
Oh, Graceland.
Okay, I have a question. I just received a call from a church member, a young lady. She's about 25 years old. Her dad is in the hospital, and she wanted me to notarize a termination of descendant's interest. I've never seen that before, but it's already been it has already been notarized. She lost the paper. It was notarized on 12/8 of 23. She lost the paper. She wants me to notarize, but he's in the hospital, and he has a trait, but I think he's you know, hand gestures or something. She said the lady wouldn't notarize it. The lady wouldn't notarize it again because he's in the hospital. What do you, I know that's a gray area, but I was just trying to get your input on it.
Mhm.
It's gray, isn't
Well,
it?
you
That's
can
gray
go to
area, right, Laura? What'd you say?
I said, you can provide service in the hospital. I provide service bedside. I provide service for somebody on a trach, and they are going to use their hands. They might be
That's
saying
what I thought.
no, as long as you know you can directly communicate with them and it's purposeful communication and
Right.
it's not the family trying to communicate, then I don't know if his hands will be working. If they are, great. And if they're not, if your state allows signature by mark, that might be
That's what I
a
was
way to get the
thinking.
signature.
I'm not sure. I tried to look it up, the signature by Mark, but I did not find it.
Are
But
you
I
a member
think
of the,
I was just
oh
trying
yeah,
to get a, ma'am,
oh
I was
yeah,
just trying to get a,
are you a member of the NNA?
yes, ma'am.
Then call the hotline and they'll tell you if you can do that in Mississippi.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what part of you're not sure of? I mean, if they say, yes, you can do signature by mark, I've told you, yes, if you can communicate, yes, you can
I
go.
was wondering why why the notary before me didn't want to do it. That's why.
There are some notaries who don't want to go into hospitals for whatever their reasons are.
Gotcha.
Notaries that don't know how to handle special accommodations in communication or in signature by mark. Yeah, so they'll turn them down.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep. Great question, Anya. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to remind everybody as we are wrapping up the call, we're taking last call for questions. We only have 2 minutes left, but Phil Shannon with Legal Shield is available 5 minutes after this call. Please check out the information in the chat that I just posted. If you would like to connect with Mr. Phil Shannon and learn more about how Legal Shield can help you and your business. He's taken people about 5 minutes after this call wraps up. Do we have any last minute questions from anybody?
Okay.
Laura, while we are waiting, do you want to tell everybody about your call? Well, we do. Sorry, we have a last question from Dawn. Dawn, what's your question for us?
Hi, I was trying to learn how to save the chat because I seen somebody put in there like the box with the yellow arrow, but I don't have that. I'm on an iPhone. And even like when I go to my chat box, it has
just in the interest of time, Dawn, everybody's Zoom is going to look a little different because you can customize things and somebody might have a newer version than somebody else. And then if you're watching it on your phone or watching it on your tablet, so it's all going to look different. Here's what you need to find in the chat box, not the participant box, the chat box. You need to find, and it's very small and it's very hard to see. You need to find 3 little dots. They're just 3 little dots. That's all they are. 3 little dots.
I see.
Click on those 3 little dots. And
it says reply, copy, and quote.
That's a message. That's where she's looking. It's at the
Okay.
very, very bottom or at the very, very top, depends on what yours looks like.
So I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the three little dots in the chat box itself, not on Zoom, where you have the raise hand function, not on the bottom of your Zoom screen,
At the bottom.
but move over to your chat, open the chat box.
I am in the chat box. It has a box with a plus at it. It had the emojis with the plus at it. And then it has 3 little dots.
Click on those three little dots.
Jen, on her iPhone, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think you can do it on an iPhone.
No, you can't.
Okay. Yeah, because I have an iPhone. I don't see it.
I would just scroll up the chat, that things that you want, screenshot it, or hit all the links and save them. Do
So
something
we-
like that, because the iPhone doesn't make it easy.
So everyone is aware, so we don't have to worry about saving the chat moving forward. We are posting what are called hot links in the chat. And what that means is you can click on that chat and it'll open a browser window. And then after this call, you can go visit that website that you are interested in looking at so that you don't have to worry about saving that chat. That's why we post the hot links. That's why they're blue when we post them. That means you can open them right then and there and check that out. And if you hit those three little dots and it doesn't give you the option to save chat, that means it's not available on your device.
There you go.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us for another amazing Tuesday Notary Titans. We look forward to seeing you guys next week, same time, same bad channel. Talk to you then. Bye.
Pretty sure you're gonna stop recording, or do you want me to?